There is a sentence that some of the strongest people in the world have the hardest time saying. I need help. Not I figure it out. Not I'm good. Not don't worry about me. Not I've been through worse. Just three words. I need help. And you know what's interesting? We will tell everybody else, if you need anything, call me. We will encourage everybody else to reach out. We'll tell everybody else that they don't have to go through life alone. But when it's our turn to need somebody, suddenly we get quiet. We struggle privately, we smile publicly, and sometimes we need to break ourselves trying to prove that we can handle something we were never meant to carry alone. So today I want to talk to the strong people, the independent people, the people everybody depends on, the people who are used to being the helper and uncomfortable being the one who needs help. I need you to hear this. There's no shame in needing help, and there's no prize for suffering unnecessarily. Welcome to the Daily Uplift Official. For encouragement you can count on. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and share it with someone who needs encouragement daily. And I want you to stay with me until the end because we're going to talk about something that pride doesn't like to admit. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is to ask somebody for help. Let's get into it. The problem with always being the strong one, some of you have to be strong for so long, or some of you have been strong for so long, that strength has become part of your identity. People call you when they have problems. People ask you for advice. When the family has a crisis, somebody says, call them. They'll know what to do. You are dependent, responsible, reliable, and those are wonderful qualities. But there can be a hidden danger in always being the strong one. Eventually, you'll start believing you're not allowed to struggle. You'll start thinking everybody expects me to have it all together. So when you don't have it together, you hide it. You don't tell anybody you're overwhelmed. You don't tell everybody or anybody you're scared. You don't tell anybody you're struggling financially. You don't tell anybody you're exhausted. You don't tell anybody that life has become heavier than you expected. Instead, you keep saying, I'm fine. Let me tell you something. Sometimes I'm fine is the biggest lie strong people tell. You can be strong and tired. You can have faith and still need encouragement. You can be intelligent and still need advice. You can be responsible and still need assistance. You can be the person everybody depends on and still have moments when you need somebody to depend on. Strength doesn't mean never needing anybody. Pride can make a hard situation harder. Let's talk about pride. Pride doesn't always look arrogant. Sometimes pride looks like refusing to ask for help. Pride says I should be able to handle this myself. Pride says I don't want anybody knowing what I'm going through. Pride says I don't want to owe anybody anything. Pride says I don't want people thinking I'm weak. So instead of asking for help, we struggle longer than necessary. We carry things that are too heavy. We spend money we don't have trying to maintain appearances. We stay confused because we're afraid to ask questions. We make avoidable mistakes because we refuse to seek advice. And sometimes we stay in danger or we stay in dangerous or overwhelming situations because we're embarrassed to tell somebody what's really going on. At some point, you have to ask yourself, what am I protecting? Am I protecting my peace or am I protecting my image? Because sometimes we would rather look strong than actually become stronger. And there's a difference. Asking for help doesn't make you weak. I want to destroy this idea that asking for help means weakness. Think about it. If your car breaks down and you don't know how to repair it, what do? You call somebody who knows how to repair cars. If you have a legal problem, you talk to someone who understands the law. If you don't understand your finances, you seek qualified financial guidance. Why? Because wisdom recognizes limitations. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to be good at everything. You don't have to carry everything. Maturity is being able to say, this is beyond what I know how to handle myself. There is strength in knowing your limits. There's wisdom in recognizing when you need another perspective. And there is courage in admitting, I can't do this alone. The people who love you may not know you need help. And here is something else you need to understand. Sometimes we get angry because nobody helps us. We say, nobody checks on me. Nobody ever asks whether I need anything. I'm always helping everybody, but nobody helps me. And sometimes that is true, but sometimes people don't help because we've trained them to believe we never need help. Think about it. Every time somebody asks, how are you? You say, I'm good. Every time somebody says, do you need anything? You say, no, I got it. Every time somebody offers, can I help? You say, no, don't worry about it. And then we go away thinking, nobody is there for me. Sometimes people are trying to be there. We just won't let them. You have to give trustworthy people permission to support you. You have to learn how to receive because some of us are excellent givers and terrible receivers. We know how to show up. We know how to sacrifice. We know how to encourage. We know how to lend. We know how to listen. But when somebody wants to do something for us, we become uncomfortable. Why? Because receiving requires vulnerability. And vulnerability means admitting I don't have everything under control. That's different, but it's necessary. Be careful who you ask. Now, let me make something here very clear. Asking for help does not mean telling everybody your business. Everybody doesn't deserve access to your vulnerable moments. You need discernment. Some people will help you and never mention it again. Other people will help you and remind you about it for the next 20 years. Some people will protect you privately. Others will turn your struggle into conversation. So, yes, ask for help, but ask wisely. Look for people who are trustworthy, people with maturity, people who genuinely care about your well being. And when the situations require professional expertise, seek qualified personal or professional help. There's no shame in saying, I need someone who understands this better than I do. Sometimes the person God uses to answer your prayer has a job title, a counselor, a doctor, a teacher, a financial advisor, an attorney, a pastor, a mentor, a mechanic, a coach, an experienced friend. Whatever the situation requires, prayer and practical help do not have to compete with each other. Sometimes the answer to your prayer is the wisdom to make the phone call. God never asks you to do everything alone. There is something deeply biblical about people helping one another. Galatians 6:2 tells us to bear one another's burdens. If we were supposed to carry every burden alone, why would Scripture tell us to help carry one another's burdens? God created community for a reason. Throughout Scripture, people needing people Moses needed Aaron and Hur. David needed Jonathan. Paul had people around him who helped support his ministry. Even Jesus allowed others to minister to him. So, where did we get the idea that needing people represents lack of faith? Sometimes God answers prayers through people. You prayed, Lord, help me. Then somebody called and you didn't answer. Somebody offered and you said no. Somebody asked, are you okay? And you said, I'm fine. Sometimes we're asking God to send help while rejecting the help He already sent. Don't be so committed to how you think the answer should arrive that you miss the answer when it comes. You don't have to wait until everything falls apart. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting until the situation becomes unbearable before asking for help. Wait until the bill is months overdue. Wait until the relationship has completely deteriorated. We wait until we're emotionally exhausted. We wait until the problem has grown. We wait until the situation becomes an emergency. And then we finally say, I need help. Why did we wait? Because we thought asking earlier would make us look weak. But asking earlier or asking earlier is often wisdom. Don't wait until you're drowning to tell somebody you can't swim. Don't wait until you're completely exhausted before admitting you're tired. Don't wait until everything falls apart before reaching out. Sometimes early intervention changes everything. You don't have to reach rock bottom before you're worthy of existence. Let me give you another perspective. You can spend 6 months trying to figure something out by yourself that somebody could explain to you in 15 minutes. Think about that. Sometimes pride wastes time. Somebody already knows what you're trying to learn. Somebody has already been where you're trying to go. Somebody has already made the mistake that you're about to make. Somebody knows the shortcut. Somebody knows the process. Somebody knows who to call. Somebody knows what question you should be asking. Wisdom doesn't say, I have to learn everything the hard way. Wisdom says, who already knows what I need to know? There's no honor in unnecessarily struggling. You have helped people. Let somebody else help you. Now, I want to speak directly to somebody who has spent years helping everybody else. You've given people rides, you've loaned people money, you've listened to people cry, you've prayed with people, you encouraged people when they wanted to give up. You've shown up at hospitals, you've attended funerals, you helped people move, you watched people's children, you answered late night phone calls. You've been there, but now you're going through something. I need somebody, listen to me. Let somebody be there for you. You deserve healthy support too. You don't always have to be the rescuer. You don't always have to be the one with the answer. You don't always have to be the person holding everything together. Sometimes you need to sit down and let somebody hold you up. And that doesn't erase your strength. It proves you're human. So here's what I want you to do. If you need help with something right now, stop pretending you don't. Identify what you need. Maybe you need advice. Maybe you need encouragement. Maybe you need practical assistance. Maybe you need professional guidance. Maybe you simply need somebody to listen without judging you. Whatever it is, be honest about it. Then identify somebody trustworthy and say the words, I need help. You don't need a long explanation. You don't need to apologize for existing. You don't have to be ashamed. Just say, I'm dealing with something and I could use some help. That one sentence could change everything. Remember, you're not weak because you need help. You're not a failure because you don't have all the answers. You're not less capable because life became heavier than you expected. And you don't have to prove your strength by suffering silently. Real strength isn't saying, I don't need anybody. Real strength is knowing when you can handle something yourself and having enough wisdom to recognize when you can't. So don't let pride keep you from struggling. Don't let embarrassment keep you silent. And don't let fear of what people might think stop you from getting what you need. Act, reach out, make the call, have the conversation, get the information, seek the guidance, accept the support. Because sometimes the difference between breaking down and breaking through is simply being willing to say, I need help. If this message spoke to you today, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video with somebody who is always helping everyone else. And in the comments, I want you to write this: strong enough to ask, because asking for help doesn't make you weak. This is the Daily Uplift Official. For encouragement you can count on. Until the next time, keep believing, keep growing, keep moving forward. And remember, you don't have to carry everything by yourself. Sometimes God puts people in your life because certain burdens were never meant to be carried alone. And remember, I'll see you in the next video.